And we're back, guys. I'm your host, Good Energy. We have a lot to discuss. The conclusion of the Porsche Grand Prix. Who will play for the title? Will it be Aryna Sabalenka or Jasmine Paolini after that huge win over Coco Gauff today? She's going to take on Sabalenka. They've played 6 times. Sabalenka's won 4 of them. But will tomorrow be different, guys? I don't know. Possibly. And we're also going to take up the other half of the semifinal. That's right, Jelena Ostapenko, that huge win over Iga. The experts seriously disrespected Jelena by making her a 4-1 underdog after she had destroyed Iga essentially 5 previous times. And Katarina, huge win over Pegula. Who is going to get their name cemented upon this legacy at the Porsche Grand Prix and take home a new Porsche? We'll talk about the losers, Iga Swiatek, Pegula, Coco Gauff. In particular, we're going to take a look at Coco. What's wrong with Coco, guys? I don't know. Something's not right. Now, previous champions, Elena Rybakina, of course, she had to withdraw. She's got a lot going on there. New members of her coaching staff. Iga Swiatek won it in 23 as well as 22, the back-to-back champion. Ashley Barty, that's right, guys, took out Sabalenka in the final there. We did not have the tournament in 2020. But in 2019, Petra won it. And look, we've had a ton of German champions here as well. I know Kerber won it back-to-back. I know Laura Sigmund won it. I know Julia Georges, she won it as well. So there's been a ton of German champions in previous years. But first, before we go to the Porsche Grand Prix, I want to take a look at Portugal. We have an American sighting. That's right, guys. From the USA, the world's ranked number 80th. Katie Volinets, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to be taking on Galfi. These two ladies having a pretty darn good run. They've played twice in the past. Katie won the most recent meeting last fall in Beijing. She won that in straight sets. They played a few years ago when Katie was still pretty young. I mean, she's pretty young now. She's only 23. Galfi's a few years older. Now, Galfi's got a lot of power, guys. She's coming off of back-to-back 25-plus win seasons. And she's a pretty decent clay player. Just about half of her wins have come on the clay surface. This is a clay tournament, ITF, lower level. Now, Katie, on the other hand, not known as a clay player. She's a hard player without a doubt for sure. She's 12-9 on the year. Both ladies having a pretty mediocre year, but Katie's beat some pretty tough competition to get hers. Yeah, she took out Padone, Tamara Zidensek, who's got double-digit championships on clay, Victoria Jimenez Katantsava, who former junior #1 junior slam champion. But I was impressed with Simona Walter from Switzerland. She's playing very solid tennis, and Katie beat her in straight sets. Now, Walter beat some pretty tough competition to make it to the semifinals. She took out Elizabeta and she took out Stojanovic, 2 solid players there. While Dalma, on the other hand, look, 4 wins in a row. She took out Maya Tawalinska. She took out Sarah Sietu from my top team prospect list. Panna Yadvardi, who's pretty good on clay, and Lubchenko. Now, Dalma Galfi, she's got a lot of power, right? She's very solid with the backhand, but she makes a lot of double faults, and that could be something that could be worrisome, especially against Katie Volinets, who's pretty consistent, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Against Lubchenko last time out, Dalma struggled to get her first serves in play, only 58%. She did win 63% of those. She did pressure Lubchenko quite a bit, 8 opportunities to break her overall, but the double fault might be a concern against Katie Volinets. Very impressed with the win over Simona Walter, who primarily plays clay, but she is a little taller. I mean, Katie did have the athletic edge there, the better footwork. Katie served very well. She got 84% of her first serves in play. Even though she didn't do well, Simona's very tall, lanky. She closes out well. She can stretch the court. Katie lost 51% of her first serves. That's concerning to me, considering that she did get nearly 90% of her first serves in play, but she was losing them. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of opportunities, especially for Dalma Galfi, who's very strong and powerful. She's healthy now, so if Simona won half of Katie's first serves and she was getting them in play, that is concerning. But Simona did get pressured on the back foot as well, as Katie had 12 opportunities to break her, closed on 8 of them. That's the thing about Katie that I've talked about in the past. She struggles with power, right? She's a good shot maker. She reminds me of a young Sofia Kenin, right? I think Dalma's going to have her exchanges here where she just blasts Katie off the court. However, I think if Katie can absorb some of that pace, do some redirecting, keep away from Dalma, I think she can score. But Katie is a long rally player because she doesn't have the power. Dalma's going to have the serious power edge. But we're going to go with the American to pull it off. I like the competition she's defeated to get here, and I think she can beat Dalma Galfi. So that's the pick there. We're going to take Katie Volinets, and also Katie's been playing a much tougher schedule the last year and a half than Dalma. So I think that's going to give her the confidence to know, especially since she just beat Dalma last fall. Katie's played a much tougher schedule. So I think Katie's battle tested, and I like Katie Volinets to win this match. So I think Katie adds another title to her resume. She's got 3 already on the lower level. That will make it a 4th. Now, bonjour, comment allez-vous? Let's head to France, ladies and gentlemen, where we have Svitolina. We all know one of my favorite players on tour. And look, I took some heat in the past for stating that I think Svitolina is a Hall of Famer. Bona fide, ladies and gentlemen. 17 titles on the main tour, 8 on the lower level, WTA champion. She's a bronze medalist at the Japan Games. I mean, why not, ladies and gentlemen? She's solid. I mean, over 500 wins on her career. She's just missing the slam. And again, she's one of the ladies, along with Madison Keys, Elisa Mertens, that I've said, look, if they win a slam, I'd be a very happy man. And look, she's still got time, right? She just turned 30. I think she still has time, personally. Now, she is tearing it up. This is a WTA 250. She's here in the championship match after taking out some very solid competitors. Jill Teichmann and Jelena, fellow countrywoman. Buzis Monero, who's a good upcoming clay player. And Gabriela Elena Ruse. Listen, guys, she's going to take on Olga Danilovic. Yes, Alicia Parks set the record serve against her at the U.S. Open a few years back. Olga's from Serbia. She's 24. She's been as high as rank 35. We all know Svitolina's been as high as rank 4. I know, guys, her chance to probably win that Grand Slam 2019 at the U.S. Open, where Serena destroyed her. We were there live. Tickets cost a fortune. They're probably even more now with inflation, but I think she probably would have beat Bianca if she would have got past Serena. And we all know Bianca would end up beating Serena. Serena was just off that day. She didn't look herself, but you could tell she was going to lose that match. I mean, it was like a pick'em, 50-50. I'm like, this doesn't look good for Serena. And BB was just playing so good. So welcome back, BB. We missed you. Listen, Olga's 13-5 on the year. She's 9-0 on clay. Clay is her favorite surface. Over 50% of her wins come on the clay surface. And look, she's got titles, 9 on the lower level. We saw her in 2018. She won Moscow, when tennis used to be in Russia. That was a clay tournament. And she also won a Chinese tournament. And actually, that was last year. She won Guangzhou. That was a 250, and she beat Carolyn Dolehide. And again, Carolyn Dolehide, I don't know why she played that tournament. She just did well, I want to say, in Mexico when she made the final against the Greek goddess. And I don't know why she played that tournament, to be honest with you. She didn't need the points. I felt she should have been rested, and she's just completely she didn't look like she wanted to play that final, but I don't know, maybe she was injured. But nonetheless, Olga, listen, guys, she's left-handed, and she's going to be dropping bombs against Svitolina. She plays very aggressively. She plays like a Bernarda Pera. She plays like a Arantxa Rus. She plays very aggressive and powerful, looking for winners down the line. But if you've watched tennis this week at all, you know we've all been just praising Svitolina for how dominant she's been. She's served up a bagel to Gabriela Elena, who's a very good defensive player. She's got very she's just got long rallies. She's very passionate. She's very mentally tough. She doesn't give up. She keeps fighting, much like a Jasmine Paolini. You know, those ladies always played those Cluj-Napoca Romania tournaments, and they're just always fighters. Svitolina destroyed her. 5 aces, guys. She won nearly 80% of her first serves. 11 opportunities to break Gabby. She won 5 of them. Now, Olga, if you've watched her play, she's aggressive, guys. She's like a Camilla Giorgi, right? 3 aces. She won 65% of her first serves against Susan Layman, who was playing very, very good tennis. 7 opportunities to break her. 65% on the first and 65% on the second serves for Olga. I don't think that's going to do it against Svitolina. Svitolina wants to extend the rallies. Olga wants to step up aggressively and hit winners. Olga can hang in there with the rallies. I think Olga's going to have the power edge. And we talk about power versus shot making. Well, this is going to be one of those matches, though. The problem is Svitolina is a very experienced veteran. She can absorb pace, she can redirect, and she can buy herself time in these rallies. The longer the rally goes on, the less percentage Olga's going to have to win these exchanges. I think Svitolina is going to get another title. This is going to be number 18. And yes, guys, she's a bona fide Hall of Famer. I like Svitolina to defeat Olga Danilovic. Now let's switch gears to the Porsche Grand Prix. In particular, I want to take a look at the number 2, 3, and number 4 seeds. Iga, Pegula, and Coco. Iga. Okay, the loss today against Jelena Ostapenko. Should we make much of it? I'm going to say no. And the reason I'm going to say no is Iga still has 3 titles to defend, right? She's got Rome, Madrid, and the French Open. She dominated clay season last year. In fact, she's dominated clay season essentially the last few years, right? She's winning 90% of her matches on clay. She's won this tournament twice already. And I think they stacked her draw purposely, right? To get a new winner. Let's just be honest. Her draw was stacked. She had Jelena Ostapenko or Aryna, 2 players that have beat her in the past. In particular, Jelena, who's never lost to her. I mean, you can't. That draw was stacked, right? She wasn't going to get past that draw. So I'm not going to make much of it. She's still 22-7. On the year, guys, her best finishes at the Australian Open, the semifinals, which is good because she hasn't done well there historically. The semifinals in Doha, where Jelena beat her again. Quarterfinals in Dubai, right? She won both of those tournaments previously. Semifinals at the Indian Wells, where Mira beat her. Quarterfinals in Miami. And the quarterfinals here. Yes, this is a short schedule, but I'm not going to make much of it. She's still 22-7. That's a decent record, but she's 1-1 on clay this year. 50% win rate. I don't know. I don't like that number. I like 90% a lot better. Pegula. Okay, her loss to Ekaterina. Should we make much of it? I don't think so. Okay, I knew Ekaterina would win the match. Pegula's been playing a lot of tennis, right, guys? I mean, she's coming off of a 6-match win streak. Not going to make much of it. She's having an amazing season. 26-7 before this loss. 6-0 on clay. 20-6 on hard. Really, no issue, guys, right? She's gone deep in these tournaments. She made the final in the Adelaide, the quarterfinals in Doha, the finals in Austin where she won. Again, the finals in Miami where she lost to Sabalenka. She won Charleston. Quarterfinals here. Pegula's having a great season. No worries at all. Coco Gauff, the future of tennis. Am I concerned? Maybe a little bit. Okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, I would say maybe I'm at like a 4. Okay, not really there halfway concerned, not ready to hit the panic button yet. I would be more concerned with the Greek goddess and players like that who I've been telling you the last couple seasons to watch. I've talked about this roller coaster with the Greek goddess. I mean, the title in Mexico where everyone pulled out, would she have won that title if all those top players didn't pull out and withdraw from that tournament? I don't think so. She had Carolyn Dolehide in there. She won it. But listen, I'm more concerned with Maria Sakkari than I am with Coco. Coco's 14-6 on the year, coming off of back-to-back 50-win seasons. Now, I know we talked here at the channel about Coco possibly not playing doubles and just focusing on singles. I think that was a mistake. And I think all of the Coco fans that were in agreement with me that she should not play doubles this year, focus on singles, I think that was clearly a mistake. I think she should go back to playing doubles. Here's the advantage of playing doubles. Pegula said it best. We'll take a page from her book. And again, from my personal experience, I'm the type of athlete where, like, let's go back to Canada. Last couple years, there's rain on the schedule. Ludmilla having to play 2 matches in a day, a semifinal and a final in the same day. It's tough, but me being an athlete, I've had to do that in the past. I don't care. I'll play 2 matches, 3 matches in a day. I'm always in shape. My stamina's great. I don't smoke. I don't do any drugs at all. My lungs are like hawks, eagle lungs. I can play all day long. And I think playing doubles, the advantage that has is you're always in shape, right? Now, yeah, there will be those instances, like for example, Aryna, she's also playing doubles. She's going to have a doubles and a singles match on the same day. But listen, when you're in shape, that's not an issue. Watching Coco today, she looked like she was not feeling well. She looked a little sluggish because Coco was dominating that first set. And then Paolini, in my opinion, she knew the only thing she could do was just try and speed Coco up. She was exchanging a firefight, a non-winning firefight battle with Coco for the first half, for the first 6 games of that match. She was trying to duel it out with Coco, and Coco was just destroying her. Jasmine said, okay, let me tweak my serve and let me play vertically. Let me speed Coco up. She started going to the short balls, getting Coco moving, and Coco looked sluggish. She couldn't react. That's why I think she lost. And it happens, guys. Again, you have the last match of the day. Probably a lot of business going on prior. You get to your match. Now it's late. You're just tired. You're not feeling well. It happens. Yes, to professional athletes. They are people. They are human beings. They have other things going on. I think she should go back to playing doubles just to keep the focus on tennis. Look, I'm not going to talk about her personal life. That's none of my business. But she is dating. She has a boyfriend, and that takes time. All relationships take time, and it's focus, it's energy directed somewhere else. But listen, that's none of my business. We're not going to talk about that. I just think that, yeah, she should go back to playing doubles. Pegula said it best. Playing doubles, again, it also acts as practice because you're playing an actual match at actual game speed. Doubles is actually faster. I enjoy watching doubles because the pace is insane, especially towards the net. Your hand-eye coordination, your reaction time, your defense is always sharpened and improved from playing those extra doubles matches. And they're playing high level. Coco and Pegula, they were high-ranked doubles players, #1 at one point, and they're playing the best of the best. So it just keeps her sharp. And I feel right now, having these long layoffs, if we take a look from Miami to now, I mean, she was off for 24 days. 24 days, guys. That's a long time to not play tennis. From the Indian Wells to Miami, she was off for 8 days. Okay? So essentially, she's had 30 plus days the last 2 tournaments inactive. And then take a look from Dubai to the Indian Wells, where she had 20 days. The last 3 tournaments, she's had 50 days of not playing tennis. I think she should go back to playing doubles because I don't like the schedule. I think she should have played Romania this year. She probably would have won that. That's indoor hard. So I just think I don't like her schedule. I think there's too much time off. She's young, and look, she enjoys to have a life. She's been working hard for the last decades. She was 11, 12 years old. It's been nonstop. So I think she should have a good time, enjoy her life. This is just a game. It's just a sport. But I do think she should go back to playing doubles. 50 days off the last 3 tournaments. That's too much time, guys. And we saw it today where the fastest player in the world, Coco Gauff, the best defender in the world, Coco Gauff, the best footwork in the world, Coco Gauff, She's a little bit sluggish today, and that's just honest. That's fair criticism. Jasmine's a good player, but I know Jasmine's game, and this has nothing to do with Jasmine's ability today. It just had to do with Coco being sluggish. I don't think she felt good today, because her reactions on her facial expressions, it told me that maybe she was a little bit under the weather. But again, I'm not worried. We're not going to hit the panic button. I just think she needs to play more tennis. She needs to be a little bit more active. And listen, guys, like, why not? Why not show up at the Billie Jean King Cup qualifiers? Why not play with Haley Baptiste, one of your best friends, right? Motivate her. Let the fans see you up close and destroy some of these younger competitors to stay in shape. I think that'd be amazing. Get a top star like Coco to play the Billie Jean King Cup qualifiers and head to Germany. That would have been huge. But I think she just needs to play a little bit more tennis. I think she should go back to playing doubles. What do you guys think? Comment below. And let's get down to the semifinals. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the first half of the semifinal, two ladies very familiar with each other 10 times. That's right, guys. Ekaterina Ekat ranked 22nd on the World Tour. Jelena Ostapenko ranked 24th. These ladies are neck and neck. Now, overall, in terms of clay, Ekaterina, 181 wins on clay, just about half of her career total, but she's regarded as a hard court player. Jelena Ostapenko, 143 wins on hard, but a lot of people don't realize she prefers hard, but she is a French Open champion, where we saw her defeat Simona Halep years ago when she was a teenager. A lot of people look at that older footage and they see like a very thin Jelena Ostapenko, and they say what happened. It's to our knowledge a medical condition, possibly diabetes or something, but she doesn't speak too much about it. So she's put on weight, but she's always had a heavy racket. She's always had a lot of power, and as she said today in her post-match interview after defeating Iga, she's a pretty good clay player as well. That's right, guys. She won Paris. Now, on the year, she's 4-1 on clay. She's defeated Diana Yastremska. I mean, that was pretty much a walkover, so you can't really count that match. But she did win the first set 6-3, and she was up 3-love in the second set. Aside from that, huge win over Emma Navarro. No one thought she could defeat Emma Navarro. But again, we talk about shot making ability versus power. Listen, if someone's just completely stronger than you and you can't handle their pace, that's going to affect your whole entire game. You're not going to be able to get into a rhythm. You're not going to be able to return. That's what Jelena does. And we saw that against Iga Swiatek. It did go 3 sets, and she's gone 3 sets her last couple matches. Now, watching her face Iga, you can see the type of pressure she puts on opponents. But this is going to be a different matchup against Ekaterina. Iga plays best inside the court, while Ekaterina can stretch you. She can stretch you vertically, horizontally. She has good angles, but she can play 5 to 10 feet behind the baseline. She has the range. That's the big difference from Iga Swiatek. I'm not saying that Ekaterina is a better tennis player than Iga, okay? She doesn't have the accolades, and she said it herself. This is possibly the best tennis she's faced. This is possibly the best tennis she's played, as she's defeated 2 top 10 players, Pegula and Erica Andreeva, back-to-back, and a top 20 player, fellow countrywoman Ludmila Samsonova. So I won't necessarily say this is the best tennis she's played, because, I mean, she knows Ludmila's game. Erica, again, a fellow countrywoman, but she's still young. I mean, I know she's doing a lot of great things, but there is a lot of power on Ekaterina's racket compared to Mira. There's a big power difference and experience difference as well. And Pegula's big time, but she's defeated Pegula in the past. Against Pegula, she played very well. Ekaterina, that is. And yes, she's also playing doubles, so she's going to have to watch her rest and recovery. It's going to be a quick turnaround. But against Pegula, a bagel in the first set, insane. 6 aces, she won nearly 80% of her first serves, 73% of her second serves, 18 opportunities to break Pegula. That's a lot of pressure. Against Iga Swiatek, Jelena's numbers aside from the first serve in play, which is 93%, amazing, right? Iga had only 7% opportunities to attack the second serve of Jelena Ostapenko, and that's going to be key when she plays Aryna, because she has a serve for best stuff. But she still did have 5 double faults versus Iga, 11 opportunities to break. But I think this is straightforward, and I don't want to just give too many statistics here, because Aryna's game is completely different from Iga. Aryna, she can go 10 to 15 shot rallies, right? But if you give her a low ball, I'm telling you, that ball can be in the stand, right? But it's a different style. It's a different game. Aryna can baseline. She can stretch the court. She's got a forehand. She has angles. She has a much stronger, more aggressive serve. She can stretch the court. And she's fearless. She's very aggressive. She can thread the needle. And it's really that simple. She has the ability to go these longer rallies and force Jelena to play her style of play. That's right, guys. And the difference from Iga Swiatek, it's very tough to get under these shots from Jelena Ostapenko inside the baseline. You have a shortened court, and it's going to cause a lot of unforced errors, which is why when Iga plays Jelena, the mistakes are through the roof. Aryna is going to make a ton of mistakes anyway, because she plays that aggressive style. So she can miss a ball and she'll come right back at it. And I like Aryna to win this match outright. That's the pick, guys. Now, we all know Jelena Ostapenko can dish it, but she's going to have to show against Iga that she can actually take it. And over the course of a 2-hour, 3-hour, even if it's 90-minute match, I like Aryna's chances during these longer rallies, because that's exactly what she's going to do. She's going to make Jelena Ostapenko play, because she's going to get under these balls and return them. However, she's also aggressive to where she can go down the line and win these short rallies as well. So I like the versatility of Aryna. I think it's going to be just a little bit too much for Jelena to handle this time out. Aryna wins. That's the pick. Now, the other half of the semifinal, Jasmine Paolini, aka Ciao Bella, aka Little Italy, taking on Aryna Sabalenka, the queen of hard court. But let's not forget Sabalenka, guys. She's got 450 wins on her career, only 83 on clay, but she's got a pretty good win percentage on clay. That's right, guys. Literally, for every 4 matches on clay, she's winning about 3 of them. So she's a solid player on clay, and she's going for yet another championship. In case you've lost count, we all know she has 2 slam doubles titles, as well as 3 slam singles titles. She's won the Australian Open twice and the US Open. But overall, she's got 19 titles. She's going for magic number 20. She's never won the Porsche Grand Prix, and she would finally get her Porsche if she could win her next 2 matches. She's also got 6 lower level championships, 25-4 on the year. Her best finishes this year, of course, she won Brisbane to start the season. She made the Australian Open final, where she lost to Madison Keys. She made the Indian Wells Championship, where she lost to Mira Andreeva. And she also made the Miami Championship, where she took out Jessica Pegula. Sabalenka is just fine. She's 26 years old. She's going to be 27 very soon. Guys, I mean, she could very well just dominate the next 2 to 3 years. Right? I mean, what do you guys think? Sabalenka is just, she's not going away. She really isn't. However, though, I do think her window is closing. Again, it's just like something happens once the ladies hit 30, their game just starts to decline. So I do think she's got another 3 to 4 years to dominate. And as she's playing now, it seems like she's probably going to at least win a slam a year for the next 3 to 4 years, or at least be in position to win a slam a year for the next 3 to 4 years. So potentially, I don't know. I should do a poll. What do you guys think? Will Sabalenka hit 10 slams for her career? Possibly. Will Iga hit 10 slams for her career? I mean, Iga's got 5 now. I really want to see how Iga does at the French Open, because, you know, just a few years ago, or maybe even I'd say last year, a couple years ago, you know, we had some subscribers saying Iga would win 24 slams, 20 slams, 15 slams. Do we still think that? We'll revisit that. Now, let's take a look at Jasmine Paolini, ladies and gentlemen. She's from Italy by way of Africa, 15-6 on the year, 3-0 on clay. Now, nearly half of her wins have come on the clay surface. Now, Andrea Petkovic, she said she wasn't sure if clay was Jasmine's favorite surface. Of course it is, guys. Over 200 wins on clay. She's solid. Now, 11 championships on the lower level. We saw her get hot. She did win a main tour championship on clay. That was a few years ago in Croatia, where she took out Aryna Rus. And listen, guys, Jasmine's so fast and explosive. She moves well on every surface. And we saw that today. That got her through that match against Coco, where Coco, I felt, was a bit sluggish. Jasmine got 100% of her first serves in play. Coco had zero opportunity to look at a second serve. If Jasmine serves that way against Sabalenka, she will beat Sabalenka. However, she only won 55% of her first serves. That's because Coco's a much better returner than a lot of the opponents Jasmine normally faces. And Jasmine talked about just getting that confidence to face these top players. She said looking at the mountain, it seemed like something she couldn't climb, you know, so to speak, in defeating the top tier players. But she said she started to build her confidence, and now she knows she belongs here. She had 10 opportunities to break Coco, converted on 5 of them. Aryna Sabalenka had a fairly easy day, at least for the second set against Elisa Mertens. She was down a break early against Mertens, but she would get the break back, tied up at 4, and win the first set 6-4. Again, just like Jasmine, 100% of her first serves in play. Elisa had 0 opportunities to look at a first serve. So she got that break by essentially attacking the first serve and being aggressive. But listen, if Aryna gets all of her first serves in play and Jasmine gets all of her first serves in play, it's probably going to be a 3-set match. 8 opportunities to break Mertens, converted on 4. This is going to be a very interesting match. The only thing that concerns me with Sabalenka is she hasn't played a lot of tennis. She's only played 1 match. She literally found herself in the quarterfinal after having a bye, and then Potapova withdrew. And we had essentially, I guess, you know, Good Friday, so there was no tennis yesterday, and it's just been a lot of downtime for Aryna Sabalenka, while Jasmine, on the other hand, she's been playing matches, guys. She's played 6 sets against all tough defenders, players that get balls back and make you work and have to build and construct the point, where Coco, she just had to play aggressive. So I think Jasmine's had a more balanced style this week. She's dealt with Ava and Jula throwing the kitchen sink at her, as well as Coco with her power and defense. This is a match here where I think Jasmine can beat Sabalenka outright. I really do. If she plays fast, I think conditioning and stamina may come into play because, again, Sabalenka, she's only played 2 sets this week. That second set against Elisa Mertens was a fairly easy set. But in between Miami, again, we're talking 20 days of inactivity, and then you factor in another week here where she really hasn't played, and I think that could be an issue if this is a long match. I want to take Jasmine to win a set, so that's a pick. I'm going to take Jasmine. She's like a 3-1 underdog to win at least 1 set. That's the official pick, and I think Jasmine can beat her outright, but take her to win a set. Those are the picks, guys. Enjoy. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Your only focus and goal should be to just enjoy the matches and just support these amazing ladies as they continue to take over tennis. I think the WTA, much like the WNBA, 3 to 5 years, I think that's what people will be watching. That's just my personal opinion. I just think the sport it's growing, it's excelling. But we're also going to talk in the next video about the schedule. Is the schedule too grueling? Because we see a lot of players, sometimes it seems like they just need a break, you know? So we'll talk about that later. Those are the picks, guys. Enjoy Tennis in a Minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. Like the video, show some love, hit the super thanks, and I'll see you tomorrow for the matches.